This is Calm AF, a podcast for humans who are hard on themselves. A podcast for the overthinkers, people pleasers, perfectionists, and overachievers. I'm Kristen Finch, and I'm going to teach you how to quiet that incessant negative chatter in your head. Because you know what a person with a calm mind can do? Anything they want. Grab your coffee, gorgeous soul, because today's the day you get Calm AF. Hello, gorgeous souls. Welcome to Calm AF. I think today's episode will be short and sweet. What has inspired this episode is, first, a lifetime of being a rule questioner. I am not a rule breaker, but I am definitely a rule questioner. Like, that's a stupid rule. I don't like that. But we can't avoid it. So we're going to talk about rules today. But the reason why we're talking about this is because of something that recently happened. I recently made a major upgrade in my life that could only have happened because I questioned a rule. So let me just give you this story. A few weekends ago, my friend Amanda came to Denver for a quick visit. And one morning, we were both lying in our beds, just talking, drinking coffee. And I was like, there is just nothing that makes me happier than drinking coffee in bed. Like, it makes me happy giddy. I would drink coffee in bed every single morning if I could. And the reason why I can't is because as soon as I go downstairs, my dog thinks it's time to start his day. Like, he wants to go outside. He wants to eat. Once he's done eating, he wants to play for a minute. Then he wants to go for a walk. So, but the coffee's downstairs. So like, if I want my coffee, I have to go downstairs, but that's where he thinks the day starts. But if I am upstairs, until I go downstairs, he will just sleep on the bed until I go. I can turn the lights on. I can go to the bathroom. I can take a shower, anything. As long as I stay upstairs, he's fine. The signal for him to start his day is when I go downstairs. So I was like, which is annoying because that means the only solution is to have the coffee maker in the bedroom. And I was like, wait, the solution would be to move the coffee maker to the bedroom. Why can't I move the coffee maker to the bedroom? Why can't I have a coffee maker in the bedroom? Oh, because there's this arbitrary, unwritten rule. Coffee makers go in the kitchen. That's where they belong. That's the normal way. That's the right way to have a kitchen or to have a coffee maker, is for it to be in the kitchen. So I questioned. I was like, wait a second. Who cares? Who cares if my coffee maker is in the bedroom? I was like, yeah, there's some convenience things, the sink for water, the garbage for old grounds, but I have a sink and a garbage in my bathroom upstairs. I could totally do it up there, blah, blah. So, long story short, I moved the coffee maker to the bedroom. I put it on my bedside table. And when I wake up in the mornings, I just roll over and I click the start button on that little Mocha Master, and then I shut my eyes and I snooze until it's ready, and then I get up and I pour myself a cup of coffee all in bed. I swear. It has been such an upgrade. It has added so much delight to my mornings. Like, every single morning, I am delighted when I wake up and I remember again, like, oh my God, the coffee, it's right here. I just had to click start. I even get excited the night before when I'm getting the coffee ready. Like, tomorrow morning is going to be the best. I'm going to have my coffee in my bed again. It's so great. Now, I realize this is a silly example, but I think it perfectly shows how tied in we are to arbitrary, unwritten rules. Like, I could have done this a long time ago if there wasn't this unwritten rule that coffee makers can only go in the kitchen. We have so many unwritten, arbitrary rules that aren't really rules that are keeping us from our happiness. These rules that we've all just kind of generally agreed upon that we should follow. I'm using air quotes for should. This is the quote unquote right way to be. This is the right way to be a woman, to be a man, to be a parent, to have kids, to have a job, this is the right way for your kids to behave. This is the right place to have a coffee maker. Right? There's so many rules. Here's the most common. Most of the people I know, most of the people in our culture have been told that the rules for a good life look something like this. First, you need to be a good kid. You need to get good grades. Don't get in trouble. Then you graduate from high school. You need to go to college. You need to meet your future partner and then get married, have kids, get a dog, get a cat, have a beautiful house that's always clean, that's beautifully decorated, and always company ready. And then you and your partner are so great. You're always on the same page. This is what makes a marriage, quote unquote, right. You're both well-liked. Everybody likes you. Everyone thinks you're the best. Oh, aren't they the best? And you're successful. You've got the nice cars. You've got the responsible job with this 401k and health insurance and, a salary. And your credit score is so good. And you've got money saved for vacations. And you don't have debt. And you've invested money. And also, we forgot, you have a perfect body and of course you exercise every day. That's what a quote unquote good person does. And you always eat healthy. You don't eat junk. And your kids, their rules, they need to be polite and smart and obedient and good. They need to get good grades and go to a good college. And then they need to follow the rules. They need to become wildly successful in all the ways that you were supposed to be wildly successful. But here's the problem, right? This is the rules we've all agreed upon that make someone good or make a life good. But what happens when any of those variables aren't happening, right? What happens if you don't have kids? Maybe you don't want kids or you can't have kids. What happens then? How do you feel about not being able to follow these rules? What if you don't find a partner? What if you decide college isn't right for you? You want to do something else? What if you have debt? What if your credit score isn't perfect? What if your house has clutter and your body has cellulite and you don't have all this money saved? What happens when we inevitably, right, don't fit into this perfect version of what it means to be good? You feel shame. You feel like shit. You feel like there's something very wrong with you, that you don't have this perfect, that you aren't following these rules. There's something wrong with you because you are older and you still don't have your person. There's something wrong with you because this person at work didn't like you. This person doesn't like your partner. This person thinks your kid's annoying. There's something wrong with you because you suck. Your credit score isn't perfect. You don't have 2 fancy cars, right? Like, it's all of the shame we feel because of these arbitrary, unwritten rules that clearly aren't meant for all of us to follow. If it were actually true that is what makes a good life, then the people who have stuff like that, they'd be happy. And spoiler alert, they're not. I know a lot of people in my work, in my personal life, that fit this. Like on the outside, it's like you've got that and that and that and that and that and that. And uh-oh. These rules are arbitrary and they're making you feel like shit. You have to start questioning them. You have to question them so you can see for yourself. Am I trying so hard to curate this life that falls in line with these arbitrary rules so that then I can be happy? Is it making me happy trying to fit into all of these rules? Am I trying to do it because it will actually make me happy to have that? Or am I just so worried about people judging me or rejecting me or thinking bad things about me? To start questioning the rules. If somehow you were never taught these rules, would you feel shame for not following them? I give this example all the time. If you grew up on a deserted island and no one ever told you the rules about what a body should look like, do you think you'd ever have thoughts that there was something wrong with your body? Like you would look in the mirror and be like, oh, it's too big, it's too small, those arms aren't very toned. No, you'd be like looking in the mirror being like, this is what my body looks like. It's just a body. So what bodies look like, apparently. If you grew up on a deserted island and no one told you the rules about how women should be quiet and polite and pretty and thin and all, you wouldn't even think about being too much about how you can't fit into this. You'd be like, this is who I am. I'm not too much. What is even too much? This is just who I am. Now, obviously, we don't live on a deserted island. and we all have to live with other humans who all have their own rules. My point is that the only way these rules could be all true, that we would make the effort to change every single thing, your body, your house, your relationship, your job, your money, change every single thing so that once it looks like the rules say it should look, then I'll be happy. Like, question the rules. Question them. Is it true? Is it true for everyone all the time? Do I like this rule? If it wasn't actually a rule, would I follow this rule? And who would I be without this rule? This is one of my favorite things to ask when people say like, well, this is what it's supposed to be. I would like, what if you never heard that before? What if you had never heard the rule that a body was supposed to look a certain way? How would you feel right now? You would feel amazing. The thing that's hurting you is not the body. The thing that's hurting you is how you think it should be different. Okay, so you got to question. Please question all of the rules. Not so you can just go be rogue and be like feral. So you can choose which rules you want and you can decide what rules that you want to live by, right? You get to rewrite your own rules. Once you've questioned them and you see that they're almost all just arbitrary, depending on the opinion and the life experience of the person who gave you these rules, you'll see that you don't have to keep any of the rules that don't work for you, right? This is how you start feeling better, is you start saying like, okay, so maybe for me, the rules are, I just want to be happy. And that doesn't have to be because I have a person or that I have kids or that I went to college or that I have this money. Like maybe I can rewrite the rules so that I'm happy where I'm at right now. Maybe it's the trying to live up to the rules that's keeping me from my happiness, not actually achieving them. Something to think about. So you have to question the rules. You got to rewrite them to make them work for you, to make it so that it's something that you want to follow, that there is a why, there's a reason why you want to follow this rule. But once you've done that, you have to practice it, right? You have to remember these rules didn't just get handed to you yesterday. They were handed to you at birth, and they were reinforced over and over and over by your parents, by your caregivers, by your peers. They were reinforced at home, at church, at school, in the movies, everywhere. This is what it looks like to be good. This is what we all are supposed to look like. These are the rules. Get in line. You have had them for a very long time. They are very hardwired. So yes, question them. Yes, rewrite them. But you need to make sure you have got a daily practice around them. And I don't mean it has to be some elaborate thing. I just remember every day you have to remember that you are turning off autopilot and you are manually choosing to show up, to be in charge every day. Every morning you have to make sure there is something that is going to remind you to turn off autopilot, because that's what autopilot is. It's just there. It's doing its thing. It's trying to make life easier for you. And it's always going to be on unless you mindfully and intentionally choose to turn it off for you to be in charge of the controls. Right? This is why people go crazy for the daily love letters that I send. I send them to my Call My F Life members. I send them to my list on Sundays. But every single day, my Call My F Life members get that reminder. Hey, don't forget, turn off autopilot. And even if things don't change dramatically right away, that daily reminder is creating a new neural connection. I'm doing it different. I'm doing it different. And I don't have to rush. I can take my time, but I'm doing it different. I'm not going back on autopilot again, because you can't change your life following the same old rules. So start questioning, start rewriting, and then practice, practice, practice. All right. And have fun with it. Have fun with it. If you want that accountability, if you want to have that practice right there so you remember to turn off autopilot and really create this life that you're wanting to live, that really most of the time isn't going to fall in line with your old rules, Call My F Life is available for you now, anytime you want. Not only will you learn the best way to question and rewrite the rules, you also get that daily practice and that accountability and that support system. And that is just the non-negotiable part of changing things for real and for good. You can join today for as little as $297, and for a few more weeks, you can get lifetime membership. As I've mentioned before, this program is going through its own set of upgrades. It's getting a makeover, and the lifetime access is ending this month. So if you want to make sure that it's a good fit for you, if Call My If Life is a good fit for you, if you want to ask me some questions, click the link in the show notes and you can book a quick call with me and we can talk about it and see if it's the right time or if it's not the right time, or if maybe there's something else that I offer that could be a better fit for you, or someone else offers. Anything. I'm just going to help you on this call. So click the link. All right, gorgeous soul, go out and question those rules. Maybe bring your coffee maker to the bedroom. I don't know. Maybe, right? Maybe. I love you so much. I'll see you next time. If you love this podcast, you will love Call My If Life. It's a self-paced, lifetime access DIY course that teaches you all the concepts that I talk about here, from nervous system regulation to manifesting with ease. And since we know that true change doesn't happen just because you know what to do, you also get an all-access pass to coaching calls and accountability so you don't stay stuck and you don't give up. The best investment you could ever make is in yourself. Call My If Life is here for you now. Life's not waiting. Let's get you aligned with your Call My If self, gorgeous soul. I cannot wait to meet you. Go to KristenFinch.com and join me today.